Plus, President Trump's new global tariffs will take effect. What I find interesting right now, Anne-Marie, is how much we are or are not recognizing the ramifications of tariffs that are substantially higher where they have been since the late 1930s.
Exactly. The average U.S. tariff rate was 2.4%. Now we're going to an aggregate rate of some 20%. This is going to be massive. And a lot of people are saying companies still have not digested it. You also have a number of countries like India, like Switzerland, wanting to, I think as Ambassador Greer would call it, manifest a deal in the last minute. You even have the Swiss president, which I am told uninvited by this White House, no formal invitation to come, getting on a plane to come to Washington, D.C. to try to ink a deal in less than 48 hours.
Meanwhile, we do have the Trump administration providing new guidance ahead of the rollout. Bloomberg's Mike Shepard joining us now. Mike, what are we learning from the administration as they prepare for these new rates to go into effect on Thursday?
Yeah, the rates will begin to be enforced, Lisa, on Thursday after 12:01 a.m. That is, anything that is put on a boat or an airplane or in a truck heading into the U.S. would be subject to these higher tariff rates. Now, that still buys a little bit of time for those handful of nations like Switzerland, like India, and even like Brazil that would like to see the rates that they were handed by President Donald Trump last week to be dropped from where they are right now. The Swiss in particular are smarting over the 39% levy that the president imposed on Thursday. This is really the fruit of a falling out between him and his Swiss counterpart, Karin Keller-Sutter, who didn't quite grasp Donald Trump's misgivings over the trade deficit that the U.S. currently has with Switzerland. During an interview just now on the other network, the president pointed to that and pointed to his frustration with that conversation, and that really led to that higher number. We've reported ourselves just on some of the internal workings of that conversation between the two leaders. Now the Swiss president is hoping to have another encounter with the president or his team to see if they can work out a different deal with some concessions. Likewise, we're looking for India to see if they can come up with some sort of counteroffer before Thursday to lower the tariff rate that they are currently expecting of 25%. And again, President Donald Trump has expressed his concern that India still maintains tariff barriers that are too high and also some non-tariff barriers on key American goods, including in agriculture. And he would like to see those lowered as well. But lurking the India conversation is something else altogether, Lisa. This is the Ukraine war, and the president wants to get India to stop buying Russian crude. He sees that as a way to support Vladimir Putin's war machine. He has grown frustrated with the Russian leaders' refusal to come to the bargaining table to try to agree to a ceasefire, to end this war and deliver a campaign promise that Donald Trump had been making consistently before the election and, of course, repeatedly afterward. And he has grown tired of trying to cajole Vladimir Putin and would rather use the economic instruments at hand. And that would include getting trading partners like India and like China to stop buying energy products from Russia. Likewise, we're also seeing some pressure on Brazil for different reasons altogether. And that is what has led to the high tariff rate there. And that is a 50% levy on Brazilian goods coming into the U.S. And this is over President Donald Trump's concern that his ally, Jair Bolsonaro, is facing unfair treatment over the charges he is facing for a role in an alleged coup plot against the current president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. So we'll have to be watching that all, Lisa and Anne-Marie. It'll be a big day today and a big rest of the week.